Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Okay, so yesterday I did a video where I reported what Jaron Ennis Hernandez said about his experience sharing the ring with Canelo Alvarez and Jaron Ennis in Canelo Alvarez's recent camp. Once again, for those of you guys who don't know who Jaron Ennis Hernandez is, he is one of the best middleweights in the world right now. I truly would pick him to beat any of the champions at 160 right now. He's an undefeated Cuban fighter, top contender, and he can do it all in the ring. He fights on the inside, he can box on the outside, he can do it all, and he does it aggressively. So he's one of Canelo's sparring partners, right? And in a recent interview, he was asked, out of everybody that you've been in the ring with, who would you say has the most power? And he said that he would place Canelo Alvarez at second, and he would place Jaron Ennis at number one. So he believes the junior middleweight, Jaron Ennis, has more power than the super middleweight Canelo Alvarez. So that video that I did the other day, it was about power. It was about that question that was asked to Hernandez. Who has the most power? Because of course that's an amazing revelation for him to pick Jaron Ennis over Canelo Alvarez. No one, including myself, expected him to say that. So there were other things that he said in this interview which I wanted to do a separate video on because it's kind of a different topic. And that was regarding what he said he saw when he was watching Canelo spar against Jaron Ennis. Yo-Yo, he was asked, who would you say benefited more from the sparring, to prepare them for their next fight, Jaron Ennis or Canelo Alvarez? And immediately he said Canelo Alvarez. He said because there were points in the sparring session where there were certain things that Canelo was doing that Jaron didn't know how to handle.
Bueno, para mí, Canelo. Porque Bush no supo, en algunos momentos no supo cómo reaccionar al golpeo. Y entonces para Canelo se le hace más fácil porque es un boxeo similar al de Crawford.
So he said that at some points Woods didn't know how to handle some stuff of Canelo, for his perception. So he said that at some points, Woods couldn't handle some of the stuff that Canelo brought to the table in that fight.
Oh.
In that sparring session.
Now, he also said that, it benefited Canelo more. Why? Why?
¿Por qué tú crees que se benefició Canelo de ese sparring con Woods?
Porque Bush al principio como que intentó... tú sabes, como que mantenerlo a la distancia, qué sé yo, y entonces Canelo supo cómo llegar a meterse en la corta y en media distancia, que es realmente el estilo donde pelea Canelo, y entonces eso le benefició mucho a él, mucho, a la hora de entrar, a la hora de salir, a la hora de hacer la defensa, los movimientos, la reacción que tenía que llevar en cada timing.
You see?
Because Woods giving Crawford distance and all that.
Good looks.
That he started getting inside, finding the ways to get inside, and he ins and outs and the whole thing, So that's why he benefit more.
Okay, so Yo-Yo is basically saying that there were points in the sparring session where Canelo Alvarez got the best of Jaron, which is not that surprising. But I want to remind you guys that there's also a clip on Netflix Countdown, the second episode, where they show a clip of Canelo sparring with Yo-Yo Hernandez. And Hernandez, he actually backed Canelo Alvarez up to the ropes and he was letting his hands go. And Canelo, they were basically exchanging. And the reason why I brought that up is because you don't see Canelo get backed up too often, especially not to the ropes. And Yo-Yo was able to do it. So Yo-Yo, he praised Jaron Ennis as the hardest puncher he's ever been in the ring with. But at the same time, he said that Canelo found ways to basically handle Jaron Ennis, at least at points in the sparring session. Now, coincidentally, kind of around the same time that Yo-Yo did that interview and he was asked a question, who's the hardest puncher you've ever been in the ring with? Jaron Ennis just recently did an interview and he was kind of asked the exact same question and other questions as well. He was asked, who is the biggest puncher you've ever been in a ring with, sparring or pro? And he did not say Canelo Alvarez. In fact, he said some guy, Ferrara or something like that. I couldn't understand and didn't know who he was talking about. But when it came to him being asked who had the best IQ and the best chin, he said his father and Canelo.
IQ?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm either go my dad or Canelo.
We know the tribal chief got like 40, 50 years in boxing.
Yeah, I know. My dad or Canelo.
What is it about Canelo's IQ?
Canelo, I don't really want to say too much, but Canelo just he real patient. He know when to throw certain shots and stuff like that.
Okay. Last part, chin.
Chin?
Yeah.
Probably Canelo. Canelo.
So that's high praise for Jaron Ennis to say that Canelo Alvarez, he had the best IQ out of anybody that he's been in the ring with, sparring or pro. Now, of course, Jaron, he hasn't been in the ring with a lot of big-name pros, but I'm sure he sparred a few. Now, when it comes to him talking about Canelo Alvarez's chin, I mean, let's also remember Canelo Alvarez, he's sparring with headgear, not only just headgear, but he also has a nose guard, and they're using 14 or 16-ounce gloves. But for Jaron to say he believes that Canelo had the best chin, I guess that means that Jaron Ennis, he's still used to knocking out a lot of his sparring partners. But Canelo Alvarez is a super middleweight. Now, I want to focus more on Jaron talking about Canelo Alvarez's boxing IQ. Once again, he believes he has a high boxing IQ. For him to say that, it kind of corroborates what Yo-Yo Hernandez said about how the sparring session went, where there were moments where there were things that Canelo was doing that Jaron Ennis, he had no answers for. He couldn't handle. And to me, I feel like that was the version of Canelo we seen against Jermell Charlo. He was very measured. He was patient, but at the same time, he was applying pressure. But it was patient pressure he was applying when he was fighting against Jermell Charlo. You heard Jaron, he said that Canelo, a lot of times, he kind of knows what you're going to throw. And I seen that in the Jermell Charlo fight. A lot of times, Jermell, he was trying to land that left hook, and Canelo knew he was trying to land it. So what Canelo would do is he would back up Jermell to the ropes. He would get his punches off, and when Jermell was about to throw that left hook, Canelo Alvarez, he would jump back. But Jermell Charlo is a little bit more predictable than a Crawford, or maybe I should say a lot more predictable than a Terrence Crawford. And I think this is the reason why, if you guys remember, Terrence Crawford, he always said before he even fought Errol Spence, he said he was going to go up to 154 and then fight Jermell Charlo. He was asked who he thought would be the easier fight. And he always said he thought that Jermell Charlo would be the easier fight. So clearly Crawford, he could see a lot of those flaws that Canelo Alvarez seen. But of course, when it comes to Canelo, on top of him seeing flaws, he was much bigger than Jermell Charlo, like he will be this Saturday against Crawford. So I believe we're going to see a very patient Canelo Alvarez. He's still going to be aggressive, but he's going to be patient because he knows how smart Terrence Crawford is. So it's going to be somewhat of a chess match, an aggressive chess match. Now, he's still going to try to take away Crawford's confidence, I believe, in the first or second round, like he took away Jermell Charlo's confidence. And I feel he kind of took away some of Danny Jacobs' confidence when he fought him as well. We know that Terrence Crawford is extremely confident, and we'll see if Canelo can take away his confidence. Now, here's something else I found pretty interesting when it comes to Jaron Ennis. Now, before Jaron Ennis was in Canelo Alvarez's training camp, before he knew that Canelo was going to reach out to him and ask for help, Jaron Ennis, he actually picked Canelo Alvarez to win the fight. And he's saying it for the reason that everyone else who picks Canelo is saying it, because of Canelo's size, because of the size advantage. But the crazy thing is, now today, Jaron is being asked the same question after he's already been in the ring sparring with Canelo, and he's no longer picking Canelo to win the fight. Now he's neutral. Now he's like, I don't know who's going to win. Here, listen to these two clips. This is what Jaron Ennis said before he was in Canelo's camp.
But I think you got to lean more towards Canelo because, like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down. And Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So, I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it. So, so be it.
So you heard him. He was picking Canelo Alvarez to win the fight. Now, here's what he just said 2 days ago.
You spar Canelo. Do you still see the fight the same way?
It's a great fight, man. May the best man win. And like I said, may the best man win. That's all I'm gonna say.
May the best man win. That's all I'm gonna say. So here's the question. Why would Jaron change up on the confidence he had of believing Canelo was going to win the fight before he was in training camp with him? And now he doesn't want to say that he thinks that Canelo is going to win the fight? I mean, we know that Jaron Ennis, he is no ally of Terrence Crawford. They're not friends. He has no loyalty to Terrence Crawford, obviously. I mean, he sparred and helped Canelo, to prepare for the fight, right? So he has more of a reason to say, or he has more of a reason to stick with what he said before. Why would he go from picking Canelo to all of a sudden becoming neutral, or at least not wanting to tell people where he stands when it comes to this fight? Now, you guys would be a fool to think that there were not times in the sparring session where Jaron got the best of Canelo as well. I mean, Yo-Yo is not going to come out publicly and say that Jaron got the best of Canelo Alvarez in any part of the sparring session. For those of you guys who don't know, this is not the first time that Yo-Yo has worked with Canelo. He's been working with Canelo for quite some time. So clearly his loyalty is to Canelo Alvarez. This doesn't mean, I believe him when he says that there were times when, Jaron Ennis, he couldn't handle certain things that Canelo was doing. Once again, what Jaron Ennis said when he praised Canelo Alvarez's IQ, it corroborates what Yo-Yo said. All I'm saying is there's no doubt about it in my mind that there were also times where Jaron was getting the best of Canelo. I mean, you heard Jaron talk about how he was also impressed with Canelo Alvarez's chin. That means he was checking that chin, because if he wasn't hitting him on a consistent basis, he wouldn't be talking about Canelo's chin. So that is the million-dollar question. Why would Jaron Ennis change his prediction? Why would he go from picking Canelo to all of a sudden becoming neutral? I guess we'll find out this weekend, guys. Oh, and one more thing. Jaron's father, Bozy Ennis, he's picking Crawford to win the fight. In fact, he said that Crawford might actually stop Canelo. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Decay Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodecay.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.